So Captain Kid, or otherwise known as Eustass Kid, has arrived on Elbaf. The arc we've been waiting for so long, the arc of giants, since Little Garden with Usopp and Dory and Broggy and all that jazz. It's exciting, I'll be completely honest, it's very exciting. Elbaf spelled backwards is Fable. Now you're probably wondering what the whole point of that was. I'm not too sure, but guys, check out my video on Dripco, How Strong is Shanks. Dropped it yesterday. Why don't you guys check it out? Link in the description. It's one of my best videos, so I thought you guys should check it out, honestly. But back to Kid on Elbaf. You guys see the title? This video is revolving around how Ichiro Oda, the man who made One Piece, is gonna connect Monkey D. Luffy and Kid's storyline. Because after Wano, I didn't see a vision of Kid versus Luffy. But now with Elbaf, I see the vision, and honestly, I'm a fan. You guys all know Kid is my top 5 favorite characters. Luffy is my favorite character in the story. So honestly, as a fan, just content creator out put aside, I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what Ichiro is gonna drop. And let's discuss how Kid could find out the truth about Luffy in this next arc. The first thing that has to be mentioned, there was a huge amount of people that were upset that Eustass Kid was fighting Big Mom. Now I'll be completely honest, I always expected Eustass Kid to fight Big Mom once Luffy said he's gonna defeat Kaido. I thought Luffy versus Kaido, Kid versus Big Mom, that's how they become legends in the new era. Now of course it's a little bit different, not exactly like that, but at the end we still got the same result. Luffy versus Kaido, Kid versus Big Mom, and Kid got the last attack on Big Mom. So honestly, it was pretty cool to see both of them awaken the Dofus against these Yonkos. But Luffy versus Kaido was for Wano. Kid versus Big Mom was for Elbaf. We all know the beef that Elbaf Giants have with Big Mom and Prince Loki and Lola and all that. And when she was a kid, she pretty much destroyed she pretty much destroyed many giants in Elbaf. She was incredibly powerful. She is a beast. That flashback was insane. So honestly, Kid taking out Big Mom is gonna get him some love on Elbaf, regardless of if he does get the love or not. Once they find that out, they're gonna support Kid. Now of course, this could be a situation of Blackbeard on Jump Kingdom where he took out Wapol, but also he destroyed the country. Kid might took up Big Mom, but he might do some effed up shit, and of course Elbaf, which is obviously a possibility with Eustass Kid. He's very chaotic and crazy, but at the end of the day, there is a strong chance that the Giants will be loving what Eustass Kid did on Wano. Now there's also some people who are like, whoa, Big Mom said she was gonna go attack Kid and Law and she's gonna get revenge. Yeah, Big Mom was talking about how this is not gonna be the end of her. Like, Kaido just got defeated. Big Mom was talking a whole lot of shit. We saw it. She was thinking about Goldie Roger. She was talking shit to Eustass Kid and Law. So there is a little bit of how this could be a situation where Big Mom is still alive and we get a rematch of Big Mom versus Kid on Elbaf, which would be cool. Honestly, that would be cool to see. But also, I think it would also be cool to see, of course, Luffy versus Big Mom on Elbaf because of the whole King Island stuff. Regardless, I'm not a huge fan of it, but there is a possibility. Speaking of Luffy and Elbaf, there's a connection there. First of all, Luffy has in his Grand Fleet Hajiruden and the new, pretty much new giant pirates. So honestly, the fact that Luffy has these 5 epic warriors on his crew already makes a good case for Luffy to have some ties to Elbaf and some love from the Giants as well. We also know Dory and Broggy are cool with Luffy. We also know the Giants, of course, in Enies Lobby are cool with Usopp. Usopp wants to become a brave warrior of the sea. It makes a lot of sense for the Giants to be Team Luffy, honestly. Of course, there's that one giant that Luffy did destroy in Marineford, but in taking that giant aside, yeah, there is a case because of the Grand Fleet for Luffy to get a lot of support from Elbaf. Now, one theory that I've been loving so far is the whole Prince Loki theory, how Prince Loki, just how the movies you see in the MCU, the Marvel movies, Thor is of course Thor and Loki's Loki and they're brothers, and Loki's of course he's known as pretty much the mischievous one and Thor is of course the good one. There could be a situation where Eustass Kid teams up with Prince Loki, who was supposed to marry Lola and team up with Big Mom. Eustass Kid actually allies with Prince Loki, which can make him a huge threat, because Big Mom thought if she gets the Giants, that's gonna really help her get the One Piece and take over, destroy the other Yonko. Remember when she said that in the manga? So Eustass Kid allying with Loki could definitely get him to be Yonko status. Now, honestly, I don't know which Yonko he's going to take out because, of course, there's Blackbeard, Shanks, Luffy, and Buggy. And Luffy and Buggy are new Yonko, so I don't think they're going to get taken out soon. But honestly, Kid is striving to become a top dog. And him and Prince Loki, of course, Thor. If there's a Thor Giant, I think that Luffy teaming up with Thor Giant makes more sense than him teaming up with the Prince Loki. There's obviously a storyline in Elbaf, just like how Wano had a storyline, of course. And of course, there's other storylines like Just Rosa, where the royalty and all that being discussed, Shogun, of course, Kings. I think there's also a storyline in Elbaf, and I think that if there's a Thor Giant, it makes all the sense. But also, I think it would be pretty cool if Saul was on Luffy's side, because we all know Saul is a Willa D just like Luffy, and the relationship with Nico, Robin, and the Void Sentry. And Egeran is building up Jaguar D Saul heavy, guys. The fact that, of course, Monkey D. Dragon also met Saul. This guy, the man marked by burning flames, is going to be very, very huge in the storyline. Of course, we do not know which territory belongs to Red Hair Shanks. If Elbaf belongs to Red Hair Shanks and he has a connection to the Giants, if this is the storyline that Oda wants to go with, it could lead up to Kid getting his get back on Shanks. We could see a situation where Kid fights Shanks. Now, of course, we have a Law fighting Blackbeard. If we get Kid versus Shanks, these 3 billion berry men fighting these 2 older Yonko, that would be insane. We already know Law just fought Big Mom and he already went to the next Yonko and Blackbeard. Now if Kid just fought Big Mom and goes to the next Yonko Shanks, that would be insane. We know they have beef. Kid lost his arm to Shanks, so there's a lot of reasoning for this to happen, but honestly, just as a fan, it's pretty cool. Personally, I think there's also a connection of Luffy going to Elbaf. Luffy, of course, being that guy, Gear 5th Luffy, fighting Shanks, getting a clash with Shanks at least, and returning that Straw Hat. I think there's going to be a story point purpose of Luffy taking off the Straw Hat. Just how Roger took off the Straw Hat and Shanks took off the Straw Hat. I think Luffy has to take off the Straw Hat. And I think him returning the Straw Hat to Shanks on Elbaf makes all the sense in the world. Could lead to a Straw Hat Shanks versus Blackbeard clash. Maybe when Shanks got scarred by Blackbeard, he was wearing the Straw Hat, so it would definitely make the fight even better poetic wise. And this could lead into, of course, Luffy having the hat after the battle. Like after Blackbeard kills Shanks, if Blackbeard defeats Shanks, obviously we don't know what's gonna happen, but I think Blackbeard killing Shanks is definitely possible. If Blackbeard takes Shanks' Straw Hat and Luffy versus Blackbeard has the Straw Hat, it would definitely make the battle so meaningful. Of course, there's that huge Straw Hat, of course, in the Holy Land Mary Joa. So there's so many things that Oda can do with this. Back to Elbaf though, Eustass Kid loves Luffy. And I know what you're probably thinking, wait, Eustass Kid loves Luffy? Isn't that his rival? Isn't he trying to like surpass Luffy? Aren't they always fighting? Guys, I remember when Luffy punched that Celestial Dragon, Eustass Kid was talking a whole lot of shit about the Celestial Dragon, and Luffy punched that Celestial Dragon. Of course, Luffy talking about the One Piece, Kid froze up and was like, yo, everyone who, of course, talks about the One Piece laughs at it, and I killed them. But this guy's talking about the One Piece seriously, just like me. And of course, the prison of Udon and Wano fighting Kaido together. Honestly, I personally think he respects Luffy for fighting Kaido 1v1, and we saw that with Gear 4th. He was like, what the hell? He was so shocked. I personally believe that Luffy's personality, yes, Eustass Kid and Luffy are very, very different characters, but they have a similarity. And I think that one of the similarities that Luffy, I think they have 2 similarities, and that's Eustass Kid and Luffy are in the future. They're thinking about the One Piece. They're thinking about becoming Pirate King. They're thinking about taking on monsters. They're also very emotional characters. Luffy, it gets really pissed off and he gets really mad and gets really serious. Same as Eustass Kid, he's very reactionary. So I think that's something they have in common. Of course, I think, of course, Eustass Kid is more so aware of what's going on, and Luffy's more so just going with the flow. So that's a lot of differences there. It looks like Eustass Kid also doesn't have the allies that Luffy does. Looks like Luffy has more outgoing than Eustass Kid, but at the end of the day, I think that Eustass Kid and Luffy are a perfect match together when it comes to working together. And if they work together on Elbaf again, that'd be crazy. But I think them fighting together probably would be surpassing Katakuri versus Luffy, probably will surpass Luffy versus Lucci in Enies Lobby, probably will surpass Kaido versus Luffy. I think Eustass Kid versus Luffy could be one of the greatest fights, if not the greatest fight in One Piece. And you all are probably wondering, what is the truth? The truth is Luffy's dream. I think Kid won't laugh at Luffy's dream when he first hears it. I think you'll see Luffy's trait of everyone liking him, and seeing that in Elbaf will definitely emphasize it, and finding out the truth of Luffy's dream being something related to Joy Boy, the Void Century. Saul might tell him it has to do with something with the Will of D. That will be the key, of course, into Eustass Kid really understanding who Luffy is. And I think honestly, Eustass Kid and Luffy, they are big characters when it comes to the end of the story. Because honestly, people be comparing parallels of Kid to Whitebeard to Shiki. Honestly, Eustass Kid is Eustass Kid, and Monkey D. Luffy is Monkey D. Luffy. Yes, Luffy has similarities to Roger. Yes, Kid has some similarities maybe to the other characters like Shiki and whatnot. But honestly, I think they're just who they are. I think Kid is Kid, Luffy's Luffy, Law is Law. There's no Whitebeard, Roger, Shiki, all these comparisons, Rocks, D, Zebek. Listen, at the end of the day, they are who they are. And honestly, if Eustass Kid turns out to be a Will of D, it makes it all the better for the story. That's my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts down in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Elbaf, Kid, Luffy, and everything that's going to go down? Like and share if you enjoyed. Like and share only if you enjoyed. And subscribe for more One Piece content. I'm the LegendMac, and I'm gone.